Chronoflight is a game about time. It will help kids master the clock face and time slots. We recommend start practicing this game at the age of 6. Chronoflight's beginner version is perfect for this age. I actually suggest that everyone start with the easiest version to figure out the game faster. Beginner game level. So let's open up our beautiful game board and put the marker at the 9 AM mark on the big clock face, and this is the start of our day. Then we take the activity cards and select the ones which are marked with a star. As a result, we'll be playing the cards with activities that last 15, 30, 45 and 60 minutes. So the objective of the game is to do as many such activities as possible. And the activities are all different, but all very important. Swimming, bike riding, reading, and even some experiments. How to perform the activities. Take the card with the activity that you want to perform and place it in front of you. Move the marker along the clock face for the relevant number of minutes. The marker can only be moved clockwise. The card can only be used if its color corresponds to the current active colors on the clock face and the amount of time that the colors are active. For example, right now at 9 AM, the active colors are red, yellow and green. The green color activities can be done for no more than 45 minutes, the yellow colored ones for 30 minutes, and the red colored ones for an hour and 15 minutes. That means that any red card can be placed here. Let's start playing together so it all becomes clear. Let's play a game of 3 and Bill will help us. So I'm going to deal 5 cards each to you, Bill and myself. And the first one to go is whoever got up earliest today. Your turn, please. Here we see that you have a yellow activity for half an hour, a green one for 45 minutes, a red activity for 45 minutes, 2 blue activities for 15 minutes each. The marker stands at 9 AM, which allows you to use any of the 3 cards, red, yellow or green. Let's pretend that you use the yellow card for 30 minutes. Place the card in front of you, move the marker to 9:30. From here, you can play the card with the red activity for 45 minutes. As you can see, the duration of the red color on the playing field allows you to do this. Having said that, notice that you couldn't use a card of greater length of time here, just 45 minutes or less. So you played the red card, cook food, worth 45 minutes. And at this moment, I discover that I have the same card, cook food, but for 30 minutes. So what do? I say, I'm with you, and I place the card in front of myself. So this card will now count as a done activity for me, and it's possible for me to do this first, if the length of my activity is less than yours, and second, if I manage to place the card and say, I'm with you, before you take your next turn. Once I have completed an activity with you, I can take another card from the deck. In the meantime, you continue your turn. You are now at mark 10:15. Here you will have an opportunity to use the 15-minute blue card. You decide that you will spend 15 minutes drawing, so we move to 10:30. The active blue color makes it possible to perform other blue activities, but there is a limit to each turn. You can't play more than 1 card of each color. We have already used blue in this turn, so you can't use it again. Let's see what else. You can't play the green card either, because at 10:30 the green color isn't active yet. You have no more options, so your turn is over. You take the cards with performed activities and put them face down in a stack. At the end of the game, you'll count them all. Take new cards from the deck so that once again you have 5, and the turn goes to the next player clockwise. Let's see what Bill has. Nothing much actually. At 10:30, only yellow and blue activities can be performed, which means that the red and green ones are out. He has a yellow activity for 45 minutes, but there's only 30 minutes, 2 sectors of 15 minutes each to do it. There are only 45 minutes for the blue activity, but Bill has a whole hour for reading, so that doesn't work either. In a situation like this, when there is no option at all, Bill takes an additional card from the deck. If he can perform that activity at that given moment, he takes his turn. If not, he leaves the card in his hand and the turn goes to the next player. So the game ends when there are no more cards in the deck. The players take all their cards and count the total amount of time spent on all the activities. I rode the bicycle for 30 minutes and then read for 45 minutes. That's an hour and 15 minutes. Then I cooked food for 15 minutes. That's an hour and a half, and so on. Whoever has the most time wins. So that's the game foundation. Now, let me tell you some ways to complicate it and make it even more interesting. Chronoflight has trump cards. They can be added to the basic set right away, selecting activities worth 15, 30, 45 and 60 minutes. These cards can be played at any given moment for the relevant number of minutes, regardless of the active colors. Play the trump cards at any time of your turn to keep moving forward. In the center of the board game is a clock face with minutes, and you can incorporate it into the game in the following way. Take a second marker, and when you perform an activity, you can move both markers at once, one on the outside and one on the inside clock face. The minute-specific clock face is marked with different colors, and it's forbidden to perform the activities of the color where the marker is placed. Let's say it is 2:45 p.m. now. We see that the active colors make the performance of red and blue activities possible, but on a smaller clock face, the marker is set at 45 minutes. The time is 2:45, as you remember, and that forbids us from doing red activities. This means that only blue cards can be played. Let's add the time machine cards. What are they? Time machine cards can be added at any moment in your turn. The card moves the markers to the time that it specifies. If we use only the beginner level cards, take only the time machine cards with the stars in the corners. Once you master the game with both clock faces, add the remaining cards from 5 to 60 minutes and the increments of 5 minutes. And that will seriously complicate the game, so make sure you mastered the 15-minute time slots well. And the last addition, which is also the most fun, the color ban card. If you have such a card in your hand, you can dump it on any player when it's your turn. The player who ends up with a card receives a ban on activities of a certain color in a certain interval of time. Let's say I dumped such a card on you. It means that you can't do any yellow activities between 5:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. The good thing is there's an antidote. Some cards are marked with an open lock of a certain color, and you can use this to lift the ban. You can only do it when you're playing your turn. When the ban is lifted, both cards are moved to the discard pile, and this means that the card you use to lift the ban can't be used in the final count. And that's it. Have a blast!